Okay, guys and dolls, it's time for me to begin. Even though I don't have my head right, I have a slant. Oh, okay. Maybe I can keep my head. Maybe I can keep my head like this. My name's Karen Loha, and still obviously have a lot to do about, a lot to learn about the video production business. Can't seem to quite get it all straight. I want to share with you just a little bit today of a topic that I really don't know hardly anything about except my own experience. And the purpose of sharing it is not to share the topic, but to share what I have taken away from it. And assuming that I put the name Astral Projection on this video, you'll know that's the topic that I refer to. But I'm not really sure that it applies, and instead I don't know what doesn't apply. I'm pretty sure that I must have written this up in a blog post, and this video will eventually at least end up on one of my blogs, probably www.kar-en.com. I tell you that because I don't always remember to put it in the little notes, and I'll probably mention the blog, and then you'll think, well, how do I get this information she's told me that I can have? And so that's where it should be. And like I said, this isn't anything that I had studied. I did kind of start to study it a little bit yesterday, and I saw a video that, I enjoyed, and, the guy was just real and out there, and it didn't sound like it sounded like he had done less to experience what he experienced than I had done to experience what I experienced. And then when I went to look at the rest of his videos, they were all on different things. He's got a lot of videos, but none of them referred back, as far as I could tell. I certainly didn't look at all the videos themselves. I just looked at the titles and the little pictures. So what is it I'm talking about? Well, when I was graduating high school, and you think, well, how long ago was that? Quite a while back. It was in 1968. I had an experience with a friend of mine that I just kind of always remembered fondly. It's kind of a funny experience because I was probably of a lighter type mind than I am now, or at least with her. I mean, we would just laugh all the time, and it was, it was fun to be around her. I don't recall really how the two of us communicated about this even before. But to give you the setting, at that time I knew a gentleman who, as so many were, he was a year ahead of me, so he was out of school and he was in the Navy. This was during the Vietnam War, for those of you who've been fortunate enough to not have to think about that very often. I know our group thinks about it way, way, way too often. So if you've been fortunate enough to not have to think about it, those were the years when the United States was over in Vietnam. And he was on an aircraft carrier in the ocean, and my understanding was that there were about 5,000 people, probably all men. In that day and age, almost certainly all men on that aircraft carrier, and you probably would never have caused to think about this, but some of us grew up in a town of about 5,000 people. That was my case. That was his case. Although he'd lived other places, I don't really remember how many years he'd lived in my hometown. But, you know, even if you live in a group of 5,000 people, it's really hard to imagine what that's like. I mean, I remember I went away to school, and the school was like 25,000 people, and it seems like maybe there might occasionally be about 5,000 people in the stadium, and I could look across and think, well, I hope, you know, many people as are in my town. But my friend and I were spending the night together, and I had talked to her earlier about the interest of young men on this ship to have people that they could write to, and so she had started to write to one of them, and so the two of us, you know, as we were lying in bed, thought, wouldn't it be fun if we could project ourselves onto the ship and just say, hey, hi, or just, you know, see what they were doing. I mean, I don't think we knew very much about it, but I think we probably figured out that they probably wouldn't hear us. They wouldn't know we were there. And I'm not sure about her experience. I don't recall what her experience was, but I recall my experience as I laid there on my back, and I probably had my eyes closed, although I'm not such a disciplined person that I would have kept my eyes closed the whole time. I'm sure I was looking around, seeing what I could see. But I did think about projecting myself out of that room across the rest of the country and across the sea and to that ship. And I don't know how long it took, but after a while I realized that I seemed to really be on the ceiling, and I was near the door. Now, she had a basement situation in the home she was in, and her room was in the basement, so the door would have led up the stairs. And I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was way cool that I could tell I was up on the ceiling, or have the vantage point of being, you know, looking down from the ceiling. But it dawned on me that if I were to get myself, with my inexperience, across the ocean to that particular ship and get down into the ship, well, first of all, 5,000 people is a lot of people to look amongst to try and find the particular one you'd like to find. And I did realize I was inexperienced. I did realize I didn't know what I was doing. And what if I got stuck there? What if I got stuck on this ship with 5,000 men? I mean, it might be fun for a short while, but, you know, I had hair to brush and teeth to comb. I just had a lot of things I kind of planned to do, and I stopped. And I think I managed to get myself back to my bed, okay. I mean, I didn't, like, crash on the floor, and it wasn't an unpleasant experience in any way. I felt a little sheepish because I hadn't followed through, but I think it was okay. I think she wasn't upset or mad or even probably disappointed, really. But I will tell you that the reason I'm talking to you about this is because just the awareness. Okay, I was what, 17, 18? Just the awareness that I could have an experience like that and not know what I was doing and not know any details and not have anything ugly happen. Of course, I never tended to see the movies. Stephen King already had some of his movies out by then. And actually, I did go see one movie. But I really didn't buy that kind of stuff. I didn't have a terrible, icky, horrible, condemning experience. I just had you know, a kind of a nice experience. And through my life, I find that I have thought of that on occasion, and I thought of it in practical terms. That there are things that I can do that I just did. That I didn't study, and I didn't practice, and I didn't talk with lots of people about it. I didn't feel impelled to talk to a lot of people about it. The people that I have talked about it, which tended to be my family, it's all kind of like, oh, okay. Nobody else seems to have the interest that I do in my family or in my group. But it gave me some freedom, and it gave me, some interest in things that I hadn't experienced before. And I think that mainly what I would hope is that maybe you would feel impelled uh, to write me a comment and maybe share your experiences. And I'd like to promise that I will get back with you, and I'd like to, and I will try to do that. But the reality is that I'm out there enough now on the internet that I forget I have certain things, and I don't check back with the stuff that I should check back. But I will try to come back to this every so now and then and see if you have put your comment there, because I would like to discuss this with somebody. I would love to chat with somebody about this. And if that's amenable to you, and you can maybe let me know how I can get to your Facebook um, or something, I would enjoy that. And I hope you've enjoyed this.